Okay, so welcome to this Zoom Q&A with the amazing Dr. Kalind Bakshi. So welcome, Kalind.
Thank you, Jenny.
I'm so glad you're here.
And Amy.
And Amy's there too. Thank you for agreeing to allow me to pick your brain this evening about all things Tai Chi Easy and about our upcoming training. And as I told you before, and I've told you many times, you're just a joy to talk to. So let's get started with Dr. Kalind Bakshi, senior trainer at the Institute of Integral Qigong and Tai Chi. Can you tell us a little bit, give us the short and sweet version of who Dr. Kalind Bakshi is?
Well, thank you very much, Jenny. And, as it so happens many times is that when I was doing my surgery, I was a vascular surgeon by profession, but when I was doing it, I knew that I was only going to cut and sew, and then I pray that somebody else heals my wounds. I didn't heal those wounds. I created them. And there were many that went on to heal. There were some that didn't. And so I was in the mess of all this with about 40 years of my practice. Continued to wonder about that. But then I have some background in yoga and sciences about that. But that didn't really matter because that was my profession, practice. But then I came across Roger, Dr. Yanka. And initially I did some of the stuff with him with coaching and all, and I became a coach with him. But then I realized that his power came from somewhere else because he was practicing something that was not familiar. I'm not familiar with it at that point. He called it Tai Chi, and I didn't know the word. That's how ignorant I was about that. But then fast forward it, and I realized that there was so much similarity between the yogic sciences and also the Tai Chi and Qigong. And I fell in love with it because I was not able to do my practices of yoga myself. While I found the Tai Chi and Qigong something that I could do in my day-to-day life. And it was simple, they were easy practices. It didn't require me to really set aside a special time to do. And I was able to do all that during my life and then also help many, many people through my patients and everything else. And so that's how the journey began. And the rest was just enjoyable and something that I enjoy sharing. I insisted my wife attend the Tai Chi Easy session. I signed up for her, and she said, where are we going? I said, Santa Barbara. I'm in. That's why she was there. Not because she wanted to do Tai Chi, but then she is also a senior trainer, as you know, and then my daughter the same way. And we have loved the whole process. It's a wonderful process, and it helped many. And you probably asked me a few things, and I'm already telling you a couple of things about it, but it's a help that can happen to anybody in a short notice with a short practice, in a small practice. Instant help is possible.
I love that. I love that.
So, I've not seen any practices give out such promising outcomes so simply and so quickly.
Absolutely. I agree with that. What can you speak to what you've seen as far as practicing and leading Tai Chi and Qigong, what you've seen as far as health benefits from like your surgeon's point of view, from with your doctor hat on? How about that?
Yeah, I think that what happens in our body is that our body is used to actually growing, it regenerates it. Our cells, if I'm a 6-year-old, I go to 7-year-old in order to break down my own cells to grow a little bit bigger. So I have an internal mechanism to grow the body and also to get stronger. As we grow older, we get stronger and everything. We also have mechanisms to fight diseases, immune mechanisms, and stuff like that, and also fight infections and stuff, and things like that. So we already have, the body knows all this. I really call that as an intelligence within. We already have a wonderful intelligence. We know this. Unfortunately, we don't necessarily understand it, number one. And number two, we don't necessarily live the same lifestyle that our body wants us to do. And so we are not doing the same exact things like nutrition and all that. Plus, in addition, water, good food, proper. And then we are stressed. So all that creates a lot of messes, and it creates a lot of disturbances in all the system. In Chinese philosophy, they call the meridians are not flowing properly, or energy is not flowing properly. That's basically what they call it. And when that happens, there's an issue with the disease. So in my patients and all along, I saw so many situations that happen, like chronic illnesses, diabetes, high blood pressure, and so on and so forth. And also in mental level, anxiety, worry, stress, all these things affect our life, our body, our mind, our spirit, and overall health and wellness. And so I continue to see that. And when we reset it with proper practices, we reset the way we think about it, we practices these simple practices, it reverses many of these issues and starts reversing to the point that we get control over these ailments. Mentally, we become very strong. We become much easier to handle stresses, and relaxation. The responses are not necessarily the flight and fright type of responses, which actually affect the body adversely. But these things switch on relaxation, internal medicines. And these internal medicines are healing medicines, and body knows what it is to heal. I used to cut and sew, and then somebody turn it on to say, tell the patients to go and rest. Same thing with medical doctors. They give medicines. And then what do they do? Well, if you're sick, go and rest. What are they saying? Medicines, while the medicines work, while the surgery works, your body will learn how to heal. And that's how Roger came up with the whole idea about healer within. And the more we recognize, more a person recognizes himself or herself, about himself or herself, the better it is for them to get to a tremendous amount of wellness. And so that's what happened to all my patients, and I was able to help them. And not only patients, I'm retired now, but innumerable cases, and even about 120 or 121 diagnoses in American Medical Association is related to stress, directly related. So relief of stress is done very simply with these techniques, and you can really help yourself in all these areas.
Let me take your spotlight off. All right. So I wanted to go back to that you said you're retired, and I know how busy your schedule is. So if you're retired, yeah, that's surprising to me because you're a busy man. That is for sure. Because you have, can you speak a little bit about the breath lab? Can you say what that is?
Sure. What happened before 2019? Yeah, 2019. 2019 is when I usually follow it. There are four basic practices we do with Tai Chi Easy, and I learned that in yoga also. I learned the breathing and all that. A lot of people have talked about this. Millenniums and sages have talked about breathing and all, how yogic breathing and all. I was okay. I understood that. But fascinating part is that the medicine didn't understand that. Medical guys we still don't know how various tissues ask for oxygen. In 2019, when there was a Nobel Prize was given to physiology to 3 people, they really figured out how various tissues in the body, they ask for oxygen. Now, until 2019, we did not know. The medical science did not know that. So that surprised me. And I said, wow, this is amazing. That piqued my interest. And so I've pursued that. I became an Oxygen Advantage instructor, the gentleman in Ireland, Patrick McCowan. And I followed that. And now I've come to a conclusion that breathing, of course, breath begins life and ends life. It begins with an inspiration, ends with an exhalation, inhalation and exhalation. But in between, how we handle breath and how the health breath can really change a lot of internal processes to healing, to strengthening, and not only to doing that, but building up the body for resilience, ability to do more. Like, for example, going up, climbing mountains, low oxygen level, or going deep dive into the sea and being able to hold your breath, and how the various tissues are really strengthened through that. So there's a lot more science now added too. So that's why I have a breath lab, but breath lab is something that was an offshoot of it. I think the Tai Chi Easy does give us such a lot of simple breath practices. We'll do a couple of them in practice today. And so, I'm really enjoying the whole journey here of the entire process here.
I love how your path has just kind of naturally flowed, from discovering the practice, how you discovered the practice, into becoming a part of the institute, into the breath lab, into all the things. I just love how that has all flowed together for you. I feel so lucky to know you, Kalind.
Same here.
Oh, thank you. So what made you to decide to want to teach Tai Chi Easy? Do you teach integral Tai Chi as well? And can you speak about the difference between the two?
Sure. It's a very fascinating question for me because I was a university professor. I taught surgery for 30 years. And being a teacher and tell them what to do, and then they would do it, etc. The word integral is something that I learned from Roger, and I really enjoy that. Integral means, okay, there is a science. People know that there's something written here that if you eat more sugar, you can challenge your pancreas and you can get diabetes. We know that part of it. Yeah, that's written. And sometimes we take these things for granted. Okay, breathing helps, movement helps, all that relaxes. We either accept it and take it that that's the truth. Integral learning goes one step beyond. What is integral? Integral learning means, okay, I heard about this, but what is my experience? Can I try and practice that? So I practice the breath work. I practice the movements that are to be done. I practice control of the sugar in not eating properly, whatever. And then I see what happens and I develop experience. So now putting the knowledge base into experience and I develop wisdom. I understand more. And that wisdom is for me, myself, what happens in my case. So you're actually absorbing all that as an experience for yourself. And now that becomes the carry on for you to go further into either growing it, either building on it. And that's the integral learning, we call it. Integral learning is you're convinced about whatever out there. It's not like it's out there, you accept it and do it. So this is the word I really love. And it's much different than I tell somebody and say, okay, go do it, and they do it. No. We will all practice together, and you just check it how you feel about it. If you feel that you're getting better and you're enjoying the journey, well, that's your experience. And that's integral part. Tai Chi Easy part was very fascinating because the convention that happened in 2011, I think, somewhere in that, earlier, 2007, something like that, is in Chicago, University of Chicago, and also Department of Aging and all. There's this different Chinese topmost, teachers got together and said, Tai Chi and Qigong is very helpful, but we need more teachers. We don't have enough teachers. And if you go to a master to learn all this, it'll take years of learning. How do we create more awareness among the society? And so that's when they talked and talked, and they came up with the principles, the basic principles, which encompass the whole ideas about Tai Chi and Qigong. And Roger, that time, he took upon himself to declare that we would create a curriculum, which would be only 20, 25 hours. This is 25 hours curriculum. Within 25 hours, we can create enough practice for the person who has not even heard about Tai Chi, can really start practicing based on these 4 baskets of practice. They will learn how to do it. But out of 25, about 10, 14 hours are dedicated to training these movements and all the 4 baskets. And so they learn, properly exactly what it is. There's also 2-3 hours of the science behind there. And then 4 hours are spent in becoming a leader, how to lead practices. And a practice leader is somebody who leads himself or herself first. I am walking this path. How am I walking this path? Again, the integral part comes into the picture. And so I'm walking, I'm enjoying this path, and that therefore, let's see what happens to everybody else. And the last part is also learning more about how to handle a group, how to create a curriculum. So Tai Chi Easy is a method of teaching. It's not Tai Chi itself. Tai Chi has many forms, but Roger extracted a few important aspects out of the entire Tai Chi, and Qigong, and put it together in a very systematic manner, so that anybody who comes to this course will not only learn from the basics, understand the physiology, some, a little bit anatomy, a little bit of some stuff like that, how it works, but also get some dip into the Chinese version of what's happening behind that, and be able to practice it and be able to share with somebody else exactly how it happens, and then lead the practices. They're not teachers, but they can lead practices. So that's the whole idea. And then each practice leader, now, for example, I've trained people in India, in Ireland, and other countries besides US. And once the person becomes a practice leader, okay, like yourself, look at you now. You're already setting up a whole training. And so things start growing, and more practice leaders get into spreading the whole easy practices into the community, and the community benefits.
I couldn't agree more. And that's one of the things that I personally love about Tai Chi Easy, is that it's so accessible. I teach a lot of populations or a lot of communities that may have limited mobility. Or limited endurance. And what I love is that really anybody can do this practice, and not because it's, so easy that just, you don't have to put any effort in, but you can really, connect in with whatever energy you're at on that day you come to practice, and you can do the moves, whether you're lying down, or you're in a wheelchair, or you're walking, or, you're connecting everything. So I love the authenticity of that practice, because you really do, you the 3 intentful corrections, right, which we'll go over in a moment. You check in with yourself, you are truthful about your embodiment and where you're at that day, and then you go into your practice. I absolutely love the accessibility of Tai Chi Easy. So I think this is an excellent time to transition into our short practice today. I do want to say that when you told the story about how Roger came up with the idea of the healer within, I loved that. I'm going to go back and replay that story. That's fantastic. But I'm giving away a copy of The Healer Within, which when you take the training to be a Tai Chi Easy practice leader. That's the required reading, although it's just a wonderful book, whether it's required or not. But I'll be giving that away at the end of the interview. But what I'd like to do is hand it over to you, Kalind, and if you wouldn't mind leading us through a brief practice.
I don't know. Thank you, Jenny. And I really appreciate you saying a couple of things about the wheelchair, because we had when I started, I was part of, nursing home environment, which I used to go to. And believe it or not, these people, when they are in bed, they're in the morning, they can't do anything for themselves. But when they start breathing and moving and a little bit massage, we'll do a little bit of this, their whole attitude change, the whole thing. So it can really, really, anyone can do it anytime, anywhere, sick or whatever. So it's a phenomenal little things, but it work a long way. So let's do this. This is an important, one of the most important thing I learned is adjusting three things in our life. What do we do that? And if you're busy, people are working on the computer nowadays, Zoom or whatever, and say, I don't have much time. Well, for a busy person or anybody, this is, if you're sitting down like we're sitting on now, let's adjust ourselves. Just move a little bit in front of the chair so that the back is not supported, but it's just relaxed. And get your feet on the floor so that they're touching as much as we can. And straighten up a little bit. Raise the shoulder up and just gently lay your hands on your lap, on your knees. And feel that relaxation there. Relaxed the body, the spine, and let the weight drain gently into the earth. Make your chin straight. Push the chin back a little bit and keep the eyes straight into in this case, it may be the screen in front of you or way beyond that. And the Tai Chi eyes, like half closed and half open, because we're becoming aware of what's around in the room, but we are also aware of what's happening within our body. And just quickly check the relaxation from the head down to the toe. Just ask yourself, the head relaxed, eyes not tight or anything, jaw, neck, chest, go down the belly and all the way to the feet. Are they relaxed? Are there any tenseness anywhere? Having adjusted this, second intention or adjustment is the breath. So inhale and exhale gently. Inhale, feel the wonderful breath, cool air coming in. Expand the belly of the chest and relax. Exhale. Let's inhale and exhale one more time. Focusing on the breath. And as you do that, you may bring your hands in front of you, facing each other like you're holding something. And you inhale and exhale in that space, taking in fresh air, putting out the stress, negatives that you don't want, exhale out. And then with your right hand, push away the past The past that happened before you arrived here and whatever, past is ours, but we can visit it later. For now, let it be on the other side of that hand. With the right hand, push away the future. Future is yet to come. Now your hands are apart. Inhale and exhale in that hand. This is your present moment. You've expanded the present fully. Almost step into this and enjoy the quiet. How does that feel? As you relax in the moment, settling down. And gently open your eyes. Lay your hands down. Smile a little bit. Inhale. And as you smile and inhale, let the hands float up with inhalation. And exhale gently. Let it all settle down. As you are inhaling, the belly is relaxing, and the chest is able to expand as the hands go up. Let them all rise, and let them float down on its own. We are harmonizing the two forces we are sitting between. The one up in the heaven area, or the sun and the stars, and then the Mother Earth down below. As our hand goes up, we receive from the heavens the element what we call as yang. It is just thinking, intelligence, problem solution ability, and all that activity. But activity alone is not good. You need to have relaxation. You need to have acceptance, forgiveness, love. All that comes from Mother Earth. So we're balancing the two. The heavens and the earth. Where is this balance happening? This balance is happening within us. It's not the sun and the earth that are being balanced. We are the conducting force and balancing it for ourselves. Inhale and exhale. This is called harmonizing. And the Chinese monks say that if you do this 100 times a day, you'll be very healthy. And if you do 1,000 times a day, you'll live forever. That even thought relaxes me. I'm going to be an everlasting presence in this wonderful world. And settle down with your last breath. Practice. The one more basket is the massage. Many times we do the massage not knowing how it helps. We can go to a massage parlor and pay a lot of money. This practice is simple, called self-massage, and it moves the all energy around. So let's begin with, I'm just started to have the hand massage because I want my hands are going to be massaging me. And so I'm going to begin with my head. It's easy for me to reach there. No hair. It's a direct communication to my brain. And so massage the brain. And these points here in Chinese philosophy, these points are very transmitting points. They transmit energy. And when you do that, inhale and exhale, I always like to combine the breath with it because it helps me more. So inhale and exhale. How does that feel? Let the brain calm down, create some good thoughts, settle down the emotions, and then come down in the front, the third eye, go to the temple here, massage. In the ear, I do a very simple technique of having the ear in my palm and do. It's a little shortcut. I do all organs are being represented here according to the Chinese. But when I do this, how does that feel? And then I do a little bit of massage of the face, the wrinkle removing massage, and the smiling massage. And relax your jaw. Open up the jaw. People who are tense, they will tense the jaw. So you do that. And then go down here to just underneath the collarbone. This is the area where sometimes I cross my hands to do this. It's easier for me because I can do it simultaneously. Just underneath the collarbone here, there's a little area of depression. It's when we do the Pledge of Allegiance, like that. Same way here, both sides. That's the emotional point. It's called lung and the kidney, both points. Lung points and the kidney points, they call it. Massage that gently. Inhale and exhale. And then massage from shoulder down. Many times you can do a little tapping. And when you tap down, and almost like tapping, and then tap. That's general tapping. We're not doing anything specific today, but we'll see what happens. And then come up here underneath the arm here, underneath the armpit. Go across. The other hand takes over. Go on to the side. And then I'm going to stand up to show the massage, the tap the belly. You can massage the belly. This is the general massage that we're talking about. And then I'm going to show you there you go. And so, how to adjust this a little bit better. So then I'm going to massage everywhere here. Tap, tap, tap. Back of the leg, high. Kidney points here. And take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. And then we do a sigh of relief. Deep breath. And go sigh. Inhale again. Let's do it one more time. The sigh gives a lot of relaxation as we do that. The massages mobilize a lot of negatives from us, our tiredness, from the entire day that we've had. I feel very refreshed. How about you? So, these practices, therefore, of 3 adjustments, very quick, very easy to do, and breathing, adjustment, movements, harmonizing our yin and yang or heaven and the earth, and then massaging the body so that we have streamlining of all our internal flows, all the meridians we call, and then expelling it out with a nice breath technique. And we'll end this practice with what we also known as a meditation. This is the 3 gongs meditation. So each gong, first gong, you'll clear out the body situations, whatever you have today, tiredness, situation in the joints, heart, blood pressure, whatever it is. Let it go, release it mentally to the universe. Let it go. We don't own anything, body. The second gong with the mind. Whatever we are concerned about, anxiety, stresses, situations that we are facing today, release that to the universe. We don't own that. And the third gong, we want to make sure that the energy is flowing really well to every cell in the body, all the way around, and you're glowing, entire body, you're glowing, So let's do the 3 gong meditation. Welcome back.
Thank you so much, Kalind. That was absolutely lovely.
Okay.
Can we just Zoom every morning and you can just lead me in a morning practice each day so I can start it off each day that way?
Absolutely.
That'd be great. I know
Sure.
you would. You probably would. Thank you so much for leading us through that. And can you just, even though people that will watch this that have been in class with me, have heard me say the 3 intentful corrections probably about 75 million times, but could you just name off the 3 intentful corrections and the 4 baskets of practice for us?
Sure. Body adjustments is one body, breath is the second one, and the mind or the energy of the mind, so 3 things. That's the 3 intentful, I call that adjustments. Corrections is okay to use the word corrections because we do have a posture that is not, proper many times. So we straighten out and we're not breathing properly many times. Now our mind is all over the place. So corrections is a good way of looking at it. But I call it adjustments. And then the 4 baskets is very simple, actually. Again, breath, movements that we did, gentle movements, not fast, not like, gentle, easy movements. And then the self-applied massage, inexpensive, easily accessible, can be done very effectively. And then the mindfulness, we talked about meditation, but mindfulness means you are within yourself, trying to heal yourself, relax everything, and switch on the healing elixir, the healing medicines that are within us. And so any kind of meditative practices, meditation can be very helpful. So those are the 4 baskets that we do. And it's not time consuming at all to do all this.
I would definitely agree with that. And another thing that I really love about Tai Chi Easy is that you can take little pieces of the practice. You don't have to dedicate 15, 20, 30 minutes, an hour minutes. Oh my goodness. See, I'm so relaxed from your practice that all coherent words have left my brain. You can just do the 3 intentful corrections, or maybe it's just checking in with your breathing, or maybe it's harmonizing. You can use little chunks throughout your day. I really love that. So I want to say thank you for leading us in practice and sharing the tiniest little snippet of your wealth of knowledge with us this evening. And the Tai Chi Easy Practice Leader training is at the end of this month, the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th of April. You'll be there. Your wonderful wife and fantastic daughter will also be there training with you. They're all master
They are
trainers as well?
senior trainers. They are senior trainers, yeah.
Wow. You guys are like the power family, I tell
We have
you.
a Bakshi senior trainer family.
I love it. The Bakshi Senior Trainer family. Fantastic. Well, whoever wants more information about the training, you can reach out to me at blackcatyogalidits@gmail.com. Or you could reach out to Dr. Bakshi through the Breath Lab. Is that your website? What is your website, Kalind?
Well, I don't have a website. I think the best way to reach out is through you at this point.
Okay, and then I'll share all of Kalind's
Share,
wonderful
yeah.
accomplishments. But thank you so much. I really appreciate your time this evening. Thank you for joining.